Mihai with Network Security.
Hello everybody, how are you? I'm Mihai and this is my colleague Stefan. Today we want to talk to you a little bit about security and especially network security. So the materials we have are sourced from different books and this is a little bit of knowledge for them. And the program for this presentation is the next one. So what is security? We're going to cover basic security, computer security and network security. Why do we need that in our life? Steps of hacking a network, if you wish so. We're going to talk about some type of attacks, both physical and system attacks. We're going to talk about what motivates people who attack other people or organizations. We're going to show you some statistics and talk to you about how you can protect yourself about cyber crime. And we're going to give you a list of useful links. So, what is security? What do people understand from the word security? I want to ask you here. Like, when you hear the word security, what do you think about? Anyone? Yeah?
First thing, the schematic work. Schematics work in a way.
Alright. But when you think about only the security word,
it doesn't include network or
yeah, like its core.
Just security.
Encryption. Alright. But you're again going to computers.
Don't go too fast. You're at slide like 7 right now. We're at slide 3.
Alright. So, would you like to secure your phone?
Locks.
Yeah, lock. That's a good way. Do you guys go to nightclubs? Go out? Alright, so you've seen this one. So this is a form of security. When you want to protect your home, you have a fence, another form of security. So we're going to start with those basic concepts and then move on. If you are a rich guy, you want to have a better fence, right? Alright, let's move on to a little definition. So, a security is the degree of resistance or protection from harm. So the bouncer protects us from, I don't know, scullies, maybe. The fence from wolves. Who knows? Let's talk a little bit about computer security. Any volunteers? You said before encryption, right? Something else? When you hear computer security, you move from the bouncer and the fence to what?
Password.
Password. That's good. Have you seen this one before?
Yeah.
Alright, it's another form of computer security. But if we talk about home security using computer security, we might think ourselves about this thing, right? How we can secure our home using the computer. It's still computer security. But when we try to come up with the definition of computer security, we might say that it's the protection from theft or damage to the hardware or to our data. Because our data is the information of that. Alright, now we go to the network security. So this is what we want to cover in this hour we're going to spend with you guys. About network security. We've talked about homes, we've talked about computers. What about network now? Do you guys use any drives?
Yeah.
Like, how do you store your photos? You guys use Google Drive? So it's convenient, right? It's easy to access. You can put your photos, your documents. I share my expenses with my girlfriend there. So it's an easy way to put data on the go and to have it on the go because it's anytime there, right? Any OneDrive fans here? No, right? Me neither. But you might use this. Apple fans? Apple fans. You like Apple, right? You know how they say, one apple a day keeps doctor away, huh? So, this is a data center and this is a hacker. Why do you think he's doing that? Is he accessing a network? Might be a server in a data center, right? So why is it important to have a proper definition of network security? Because let's say it involves a number of security policies, from network to software to hardware needed to protect from a network, to protect a network from unauthorized access. Because you wouldn't like that your snapshots, right, or your selfies that you upload to your iCloud to be taken by someone else, right? Do you guys send only legit photos on the internet? Yeah, here's something here. Yeah, Charlie. Have you ever sent something that might be spicy? Sorry?
You should have been chatting with anyone, but I wanted to have it.
Alright. So we make mistakes, right? We take photos. Yeah, say.
You're talking about that incident last year, about 12 months ago.
Which one?
What's happening?
That one.
Alright, so
There's always a pepper.
that's an example that people take a photo, right? And post something on their Twitter, on their Facebook account. And that information is there for like 20 years, and you should think about it before you post it. So we have to have a little bit of network security. You might ask, why do we need security? Well, to save those nudes you have on your phones, right? To be seen from somebody else. Because the network is a big place. Like, it started small, it started as a resource for people sharing knowledge, and now it's a big thing, and it's a huge thing, and it's growing exponentially, day by day, second by second. And we need protection, because what's so funny and interesting about this network, internet, is that it's cheap. I mean, you only have to pay the internet service provider, and you can access it from anywhere in the world, right? So if you can access it from anywhere in the world, that means that an attacker is free to access it from anywhere in the world. So the only thing that an attacker can do is to sit on their home computer and hack you. So you might need a layer of security on top of that. We talk about how big is the internet. I want to show you a quick link. This is actual data. How many internet users are in the world at this time? How many websites? How many emails? And this is a big number when you take a look at each individual number, right? If you want to do a small exercise, just look at the minute, and we're gonna look at the end of the presentation to see the increment of the internet users in the world. And those statistics are actually real. This site is legit. And you can see different numbers of actual data. So there's lots of data out there. Lots. Might be yours, might be somebody else. But that might be one of the reasons you should care about how big is the internet, right? There are another parts of reasons. So I know you, anyone attended the Internet of Things workshop before? Most of you. All right. So I don't know if Tolijan told you or not. Did he talk you about the new things called defibrillators? So in medical, technology is being used more and more often. So it's very convenient for every device that people put in insert in other people's body to receive data from it, to actually see a result of why did that doctor inserted the defibrillator into person X. Would you, if you would be unlucky, to have a heart problem, would you like that someone should hack your heart? I mean, that's a sensible approach today. But that might be a reason why you should care. Also, we have a Data Protection Act, which supposedly protects our data. But that is not true at all. Because you might heard about service or third-party companies using your data. That's not legal at all. So you might want to care about that. Most of the encryption and security layers that are available to you are not pinned in your face. So no one will actually say, you know, you should secure your Facebook account. All right, it's there. You can, anyone can do it. Or you should, it's not a general notice when you start your iPhone, secure it first. Disable the location services. Because it's so easy nowadays to find out where a person is. They don't even need to check in anymore. If, let's say, there's a group of friends, 10 friends, and they're all studying architecture. They're all usually hanging out together, and 9 of those friends are in a place, out on a Friday evening. There's a high possibility that if the 10th person is also with them, due to past experience. That's called machine learning, and there's another field, but we won't cover that. Anyway, the point was that now you don't have to check in anymore to see that you're not home. It's so easy to find this out. Who can answer this question? Anyone? Everyone. Right. Quite a good audience. Quite a good audience. So everyone, anyone. Because you might be a company, you might be just a student, I don't know what that means, just a student. You might be anyone and you're still vulnerable because you're on the internet. And the internet is not secure at all. Right now I'm going to cover a little bit about steps of hacking a network. Are you guys interested in that? Of course.
Yes.
Alright. So what's the first thing, as here says, apparently, when you explore, because the word's there, when you explore a target, what do you think is the first thing one attacker and one professional attacker does? I want to ask you guys.
Find his routine.
Sorry?
Find his routine.
Find his routine. That's a good sorry?
Find vulnerability.
Alright. Again, do you study computer science or something? You go straight into the point. But most professional attackers don't do that at first. They cut. Sorry? Tries to get the password. Alright, another suggestion?
Tries to find all the breaches in the site.
Very good, very good indeed. But in fact, most professional hackers do this. Dumpster diving. Like, you would be amazed of how valuable information people throw out in their bin. So, another hacker of which I will show you later, in the 90s, in the late 90s, he was said to be the worst famous hacker, said this. This is the first thing I do when I target someone. I check their garbage. Because they usually throw out a lot of important stuff. And you know, nowadays, they even sort the bits. So you don't have to search through other still things. You only go to the paper and search for those things. The next thing might have been to actually visit the place. You know, we as computer scientists, we tend to think that the first solution of a problem is to go straight to it. You know, when someone says to you, can you write me a problem that calculates I don't know what out of I don't know what list, you want to jump into the code. And many teachers and many professors told us, you know, you have to do a little bit of brainstorming before that, and you have to research. And that's kind of the research about targeting beforehand. You might want to practice your Google. It's really interesting. Do you know how long does it take to search valuable information only on Google about someone? A number. Anyone? If you want to be a stalker and you only have Google to use, how much does it take to you to get some valuable information, legit information from Google?
About 10 seconds.
Alright, the average is around 3 to 5 minutes. But if you have your Google food to the level 999, I don't blame you. Alright, social engineering. This is the new thing. This is how hackers attack nowadays. Do you think it's hard to get a password from someone? No. Yes. Who thinks yes? You think yes, right? You might be amazed of how stupid people are.
We are.
I want to play a video to you guys. I mean two, but this first.
Passwords currently. It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon,
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where did you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School
Oh, when did you graduate?
in 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. And so you've had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. What's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1.
Like my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6, 12, 9. Got it.
In my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 4, 6, 8. And then Israel. It's only 3, but it's, you know, it's for me it's strong enough. Ireland, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gemma. What's your Greek? Spelled G-E-M-M. Yeah, so like,
What's a good Italian password?
my grandma's name,
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
So Maria is your password?
Right, it's one thing. So, do you see how easy it is? I want to show you another quick 40-second video. I was told I have audio, so excuse me for that. I really asked. This is one of my favorite scenes ever about social engineering. It's from film Hackers. It has subtitles because we don't have money.
Gee, right, well, my BLT driver on my computer just went AWOL, and I got this big project tomorrow from Mr. Kawasaki. If I don't get it in, he's gonna ask me to be Harry Gary. Yeah, you know, these Japanese management techniques. Could you, read me the number on the modem? That's a little boxy thing, normal switches on it. That's my computer talk to the one there. 212 555 4240.
Alright, so that's about social engineering. How many of you thought it's this simple to find out information? I really want to see something. Alright, alright. And if someone calls you and says it's a recruiter and he just wants to double check that you're person X and you were born there, what do you say?
Go away.
Go away or no way? Alright, that's a good approach. That's really a good approach. And as well, there are things like I'm gonna cover right now. So, social engineering uses clickjacking. Do you guys know what clickjacking means? All right. So it's that thing that basically hides what you click on. So it might be a web page, it might be an email, and you might see a button there. and you think that if you click on the button get me to google.com, it actually takes you to google.com. But it doesn't. It takes you to whatever the attacker wants. So it redresses the attack. Another thing is called phishing. Do you guys want to see a short video about it? Alright, let me, is Sammy here? I want to know if we can use the music, because we have an HDMI cable connected to the laptop. Right. Have you used it before? Alright, let's do it. I'll just ask you.
No, I want this one.
Quick guide to scary internet stuff and how to be safe. Number 1.
Do you guys hear anything?
Yeah.
Alright.
Fishing.
Sorry about it.
Fishing with an F is a way to catch fish using bait, like worms. It's fun, except for the worms. Fishing with a PH isn't fun. It's scary internet stuff. Phishing is a way for bad people to catch your private details, like your bank account number or passwords. The bait they use is lies. Here's how phishing works. Say you get an email. It looks like it's from someone you trust, like your bank, but it's not. It tells you to confirm your bank details or your account may be closed. Scary. You click on the link and go to a website. It looks like a real bank website, but it's not. You enter your details and someone uses them to steal your identity and buy things with your money, which is not nice. Here's how to be safe from phishing. Number 1, your bank will never ask you to confirm your details via an email, ever. This is the most obvious way to spot a phishing attempt. If you receive an email like this, don't click it. Number 2, look for your name. Phishing messages say things like, "Dear valued customer." If it doesn't say your name, don't click it. Number 3, look at the URL in your browser window. If the URL looks like a different name from the name of the company, don't click it. Number 4, rest your mouse pointer on the link. That will show the real web address. If it doesn't look like the proper company name, don't click.
So don't click it. I think you got what phishing means, so we don't need to go further on. So don't click it. That's phishing. Don't click. Think before you click. But don't get paranoia. You can click stuff on the internet. And we have this thing called farming, which simply replicates web pages. So it's as simple as that. Anyone heard about Whois website? Stalkers here. So Whois website is a website that gives you access to a database that finds that you can find goodies there. Just try it. It's easy. Go for it. And DNS interrogations allows us to find more and more information about our websites and organizations, so we can explore more about our victim. What do you think we do after we explore those things? We can take those things as a general role, as a general thing about hacking, about cracking things. We first explore, then next. Then what do we do next? Sorry. Choose the IP. I heard the IP. So everyone here knows what an IP is. Alright, sorry. No, never gonna ask this again. The second thing you want to do is to take a specific view on the target. What do you guys understand by a specific view? Say it.
Let's say, first look about the habits of the guy you want to attack, see what programs it uses, then scan decipher for the ports and services that it uses Skype, or if it has like Microsoft sharing enabled, and use some exploits on it and enter his computer by the IP, or rather found a website he used, take over the website and put browser exploit, former internet exploit, then you can easily share a screen with someone and see what browsers to use. Like everyone has a preferred browser. Is it Chrome, Firefox? Usually it's Chrome or Firefox, so it's easy 50-50 chances. And you just load the next clip and send the link and you're in. It's good.
That's a very, very good answer. What do you think he does in his free time?
He just scared me.
Not really. But I've heard some keywords, some very important keywords. So I have heard about what software does the victim use. That's very important. So we want to take specific things and use on a target. We want to check about Wi-Fi, any open port, as told before. We know that default port for HTML HTTP is 480, but we might find some some open ports. What networks do they use? What configurations do they use in their network? Is it breakable? Is it worth to break a network? Because we'll cover further a little bit a slide where we will see if is it worth to break a network or should we do something else? What type of encryption is it used? If so, how do they encrypt them? There are a very big number of encryption tools and encryption techniques. IP addresses, as we said, open ports, and version of software. That's very important. That usually gives you most of the information you need by only knowing the exact version of the software. Do you agree, Toli?
Yeah.
All right, when you attack, first thing, let's see. But I don't want to hear Toli Janet. Attacking. Do you have any idea about attacking? Oh really, try it. What do you think about attacking? Alright, so you gather the information and you patterns, that's good, we discussed it previously. But do you think that an attack might mean something else? Alright, let's see. So we have system and networks attack. We're going to start with system. I'm sure you heard about SQL injection, right? Yes. Yep. You know that last year, or no, this year, a huge number of .gov websites have been hacked using SQL injection. In 2015, using SQL injection. Gov website. That's ridiculous. Like really. .gov. Yeah, I'm not joking. So this is a powerful technique even in our era. Do you guys know what SQL injection actually does?
Provide
right, to find out. We're going to use RET. RET means a remote access tool. Remote administration tool. Thank you very much. That includes Trojan and worms. You might heard about DOS attack and distributed denial of service. I'm sure if you stay on Twitch chat, when Twitch chat is full, people say let's DDoS. RTC DDoS or something like that. Buffer overflow. This is a very important thing because usually in a network you find a pattern. So data is sent, but you have a throughput, like a number of data information you can send in a specific amount of time. If you send more than that, it's going to be put in a buffer. But you might want to attack that by sending too much data that the buffer will actually overflow, and it will be forced to move to memory addresses. And there you can exploit memory addresses, and that's very important. And passwords. We're going to go to password immediately. Anyone heard about sniffing? Not doing coke, all right. So sniffing means to actually listen, to become a monitor on the network and listen to something. But we're going to see immediately why it's called sniffing. We can do traffic analyzers or spoof the IP address. My name's Abidal, I heard, right? Very good. XSS attack. Anyone heard about it? Andre heard about it. Do you know what that means? Yes. Yes. Lots of fun. Alright, I'm going to talk you a little bit about this denial of service and distributed denial of service. Yes?
Process scripting
I think it's right.
is not kind of network attack. What you use network attack, what you do on the network is getting access to networks and devices, while like systems and where you put like SQL injection, like process scripting is more related to SQL injection because it's like application flow.
Alright, that's a very good approach to what I've said. Sorry, I finished this presentation at 6 AM last night. Alright, but you're right, XSS attack. I was thinking, you know, that it's basically related to the user access in the network, so that was my thinking process when I placed it there. But you are definitely right. Sorry, it's an open discussion here. I want to show you another video. Do you like videos from time to time? Alright, let's see what DDoS means in a way that I'm sure you will all understand it. The main reason why I choose videos is that there are a lot of people out there who really explain good stuff and have been actually learning about those things for years. So if people explain the best, I think, let them explain them, in my mind.
The first step in launching a distributed denial of service attack, or better known as a DDoS attack, is to recruit an army of bots. In order to turn a computer into a bot, attackers develop specialized malware, which they spread to as many vulnerable computers as possible. Malware can spread via compromised websites, email attachments, or through an organization's network. Any users tricked into running such malware will unintentionally turn their computer into a bot and provide an access point for attackers to their computer. Once a computer turns into a bot, it connects to the attacker's command and control servers, and it begins to accept orders from these centralized machines. The orders from the command and control servers include directions for launching an attack from the bot's malware to a particular target using selected attack methods. An army of bots is named a botnet, and usually consists of thousands of bots. Anytime the botnet owners want to launch an attack, they send messages to their botnet's command and control servers with instructions to perform an attack on a particular target. Any infected machines in the botnet will comply by launching a coordinated, well-timed distributed attack, known as a DDoS attack. Launching a large-scale DDoS attack is not a difficult task to carry out. One doesn't need to create its own botnet, as various paid-for-hire DDoS services are available. Anyone using such a service can launch a powerful DDoS attack on a target of their choice for anywhere from $5 to $200 per hour, depending on the attack size and duration. An average duration of a DDoS attack is about 24 hours. The motivations behind DDoS attacks can be financially driven, pursuit of crippling a business competitor, activism, political, or even just for fun. No one, however, should doubt the potential cost of a successful attack. The business impact of a DDoS attack is substantial and can involve financial losses, reputation damage, customer agitation, and legal repercussions. Want to know how to protect your online business from DDoS attacks? Contact Radware today.
Don't. I'm gonna talk about that. You want? Yeah. All right. You have a link there. Okay. So remote access tools. How do you change this? Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. So remote access tools. Remote access tools is like. Yeah. Remote administration tools. Sorry, you already said that once. Sorry, I'm nervous. So remote administration tools. Well, this is actually something like TeamViewer if you look from one angle. But in another way, you can actually give your target some kind of file that will run a bash script or a CMD script, and will give you access to his computer, and you'll be able to do basically whatever you want with it, more or less. The picture that you see right there is from a remote accessing tool that is not available anymore
because yeah, we have a video if you want to see it.
Do you want to see live working? Alright. We have this is from the CeBIT Global Conference, and this is performed by one of the world's best hackers. Like, he was known to be the worst best hacker.
Physically here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the USB stick. It's going to pop up, and how do you get people to plug in a USB stick? Here, I'm going to format it, by the way, make sure it's clean. Then we'll discuss how to get people to plug these things in. So we're going to format it. You found the stick, you want to format it, it's clean. And then I want you to pay attention and watch the Windows machine, because I have it timed. Usually you time it when there's idle time, when nobody's around, when somebody goes to lunch, they leave their office, and it will inject the keystrokes to drop a payload from the internet. So just keep watching this. It should be about 15 seconds. It's set for 15 to 20 seconds, and it should pop up any second. There it goes. That's it. But that would happen not immediately.
I'd like to make you pay attention to something here. At this moment, he has some kind of access to the target computer, or makes the user actually insert the USB into his drive. So,
of course, when I'm doing this demo, I do it right here in front of you. And in a second, we should see the Trojan pop up here. Give it a second. Sometimes takes 20 seconds. And it's a rootkitted Trojan. There it is. Right? So this machine isn't even in our building. This is in London. And this is a piece of malware you don't want on your system. Basically, if we look at the functionality of this, it's nothing special. You can upload and download files. You could, example, you could look at stored passwords. Let me show you that really quick. You could modify the registry. You could turn somebody's laptop into a room bug. So if they're using a laptop, you can enable the microphone, capture the audio files, and then transfer those audio files at any time. So it essentially becomes a room bug. Now there's a password there, the VPN, CeBIT rocks. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of small. Okay. And the coolest one that I like one of my favorites, second, is the spy functions again, where this is webcam, so you can turn on somebody's webcam. In fact, one of the CeBIT employees back there's only one guy that has tape over his webcam, so I had a laugh, right? It's probably thinking of me.
So this is what I love to do as well. The webcam feature is amazing. You can see lots of interesting.
We also have a tape on our webcam, if you want to see.
And also on top of this,
yes,
a lot of guys did a hardware modification where they read the lighting of the LED light right to your camera, so even if it's not flashing, someone might still be watching you.
Yeah, he's right. So you know that light that pops on your, that turns on when your camera is on, that can be hacked as well. So, it's about right. I'll let my colleague Stefan go on.
Yeah, spoofing the IP address. This is about TCP transmissions. It's when you make a handshake and you somehow interfere with the packet transmission, and you're able to see the IP address and then send another one as a response. I don't know everything about this, as Mihai knows everything about network and things. I'm more about internet and Wi-Fi connection.
So this TCP has a handshake. It's called a three-way handshake. So as you can see here, it tries to sync the A with B. Let's say you have initiator A and listener B. So A tries to synchronize with B, and we know A has IP. A has one IP, B has one IP. Someone mentioned before man in the middle attack. This is exactly what we are going to do. So A tries to synchronize with B. B sends back a response, sync, but also acknowledge of sync. At this moment, the only thing that A should do for the connection to the handshake is to acknowledge that. Well, if a third man, C, would have copied A's IP and would have copied A's acknowledgement signature, that's actually spoofing the IP of A, saying that C is A. Is that clear enough for you?
You're actually interfering there and you make someone think someone else is actually someone else.
Yeah. So this is a fun part.
So like two people shaking hands and I go shake someone else.
Exactly, but you don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah, Wi-Fi protection. We've talked till now about network security and computer security. The thing about network security is that you need some kind of physical contact in most of cases with the actual computer. Like you've seen there, you put in a USB, it runs some scripts, and that's how you do it. With the Wi-Fi, well, Wi-Fi uses many channels, and you actually can interfere with those channels and actually monitor them and see data that's transmitted between access points and actual users. First of all, I'm gonna go through how you actually crack a wireless access point. Not because you would like to do it, but you have to know how to secure it, people say. So, first of all, you have to create the monitoring interface. Most people use Kali Linux to do this kind of thing, but you actually can install all these tools on any distribution of Linux, or most of them. You can actually do it on Ubuntu. I did it. You have to install some dependencies, but it takes a little bit of a while, but it can be done. So, first of all, what you do is you actually create the monitoring interface that goes through your wireless interface, and through that you can actually monitor the traffic of your network. After you create this monitoring interface, you actually monitor the traffic. You do this with a tool called Arrow Down through that monitoring interface that you created. What you see here. Second. This is an example of what you can see when you actually run Arrow Down through that monitoring interface. Right here is the BCC ID of the users of this network, which has this ID. This is the channel and all the data like the power of the signal and the channel. So what you want, right now you have access to its MAC. That is the MAC of the access point. From now on, what you need is a way to somehow communicate with that MAC address, with that access point, and crack his password. You want to crack his password, your password, because you want to secure it, people say. And right now, what you can use is you can all use Reverb if you have a WPS enabled, which is an extra security layer that has been enabled in order to access your network easier. That's actually a hard-coded pin in your router. And what Reverb does is it just generates all these IDs and communicates through that IP with the router and makes him send you back the actual password. So I have the BCC ID. How do I find the password? So you can use Reverb, as I said, if the WPS is enabled. This is the actual command that you can use, one of them. You can actually surf through only one channel. You can see the Reverb documentation on the internet and find all there. But this is what you get. After a while, after Reverb just tries to create new pins and communicate with that access point and retrieves you specific data about those. After a while, which can take from 1 hour and a half to 4, he just retrieves you the password, which is here. So what you learn after this, after you crack your own password, what you learn? Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easier to use Conti instead?
Sorry? Yeah, if I'm thinking of the same thing that you're thinking, that's actually using the dictionary tag. What do you mean by config?
By using configs and interfaces, so and by using Wireshark.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that, but I actually never used that.
Wireshark networking lab.
Yeah. Wireshark actually shows you all the frames and protocols that are between bean calls and everything. So I always found this easier. The thing is that what you learn after you run and you see that you cracked your own network. Why were you able to actually crack it? What was the flow in security that you...
Which site? I don't think they uploaded.
Sorry?
I think they
No,
just
the thing is
recorded
that
and then
he
uploaded.
had this thing, DPS name.
No, they're most probably just recording and then they will upload it.
So this is the thing, he had this thing enabled and you were able to actually judge it. What is a pin? It's a 3 with 3, 9, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9.
Not enough room.
They're just digits, okay? You can easily generate them and keep trying until you crack it. So it's easier to do it this way. If he had this disabled, you could just, you had to, and you will talk about this later, use a dictionary attack or a brute force, which takes longer and so dictionary attack. Dictionary attack is very common. If he doesn't have that EPS enabled, you will have to do a dictionary attack or a brute force. But first, let's talk about the dictionary attack. This is very common. The thing is that this dictionary attack has between 9 gigabytes and 13 gigabytes, at least what I found on the internet. And you can use those. There are out there different tools to actually read those dictionaries and put them through tools that will call into the network and only keep calling, but still you actually manage to crack the network. And how do you think that a router is able to fight against this, against a dictionary attack? It's about the router, not the user. The user says yeah, he timeouts the request. You can make, I don't know, 100 requests at a time, or I don't know. You can make, after like 100 requests, you have to make a pause of 2 minutes. And that's when you stop. And that's how the router tells you. Nope. It's the same thing as in internet security. Trying to brute force a website. And from the back end, you tell him if there are more than 100 requests on a second, just kick him off. Ban that IP. It's the same thing. Yeah, so brute force, it's actually the same thing, but you're not using a dictionary. You're actually generating all the possible combinations of digits and letters and everything, which will take longer. Makes sense. So systematically cycles through all the characters until the password is gone. This is a table that shows you how long it will take for a dictionary to crack a password and a brute force to crack a password. You can see there for a password of 5 characters. It's only for brute force. Yeah, only for brute force, sorry. So for a password of 5 characters, only with lower cases, it will take 90 minutes. And for a password with 9 characters and uppercase, lowercase digits and punctuations, it will take 1.8 million years for brute force. But we assume the fact that people usually, yeah, sorry.
That's a brute force attack work where you can only input the password a limited number of times.
Yeah.
Not exactly. It depends. It works faster if you already have some clients connected to the network. So you just fake it like you just find the MAC address of the clients which are already connected to the network. So you fake that you are trying to connect again and you have the password. And then you wait for it's called like DO fake it let's try now not to get so into details. Then there are these smart algorithms which wait and then say the duration, the time takes so much because sometimes the algorithm can learn itself which router is attacking, and then it doesn't try more than 5 attempts per minute. And that's why it takes so much time, because you need more and more data, and the router is getting more and more strict about the number of attempts it lets you do for a given period of time. So the algorithm will learn on itself, the attacking algorithm.
What about the ones that actually tell you to use a code and
the handshake? Do you know about the
when
handshake?
you're trying to use the source code, when you enter a certain number of passwords, and then it says, you have to use the now to try again.
Well,
over like pass like image recognition, like there are some algorithms that do like that.
It's for purpose software attacking.
And other even like you can use proxies, so you can attack like 5 attempts from one IP address, 5 from another, and distribute the right time. If you have
There's a software engineering now you're attacking on physical level. You have only MAC address shown visible, your MAC address of the class, MAC address of the router. And the greatest constraint you would have in attacking is the level of security the router has. So you have like different encryptions, different authentication types, different channels of radio, of the wireless network. It all depends. It's not just a single software. Most of the time, if the router is really good secured, you have to do it manually, command by command. Just you can't use any payment which will do the job for you. And even if you have, after this brute force, you won't get a password, you'll get a cache code. And then you'll need really a couple of really fast GPUs to break this hash code. So there are services on the internet that charge money for cracking a hash code and entering the Wi-Fi. So the first part is getting the hash code, the second part is cracking the hash code, which is more difficult. It takes much more time than the time you see there.
Oh, that's great discussion. No, that's really great. You know, I attended some lecture where everybody said like, I'm really happy with simple discussion.
Okay, so next, SQL injection. Who doesn't know what an SQL injection is? Yeah, I know, but I just wanna. Okay. So, an SQL injection, I'm just gonna give you a hint. What do you think after you see this?
What do girls think about SQL injection? Yeah, give it a try. What do you understand by SQL injection?
Just looking at this picture.
Yeah, exactly. Alright.
It's just an injection with SQL. So, but how do you do it? Okay, it's an injection with SQL. This is what actually it is. But how do you do it? You have to pick an injection point. You're like a doctor. You have to figure out where do you make the injection. It can be a form, an input field, somewhere on the website. We're talking about websites right now. Somewhere on the website where what you put there is not validated. Like you can put it asks you for an email address, but he actually doesn't check if it's an email address. Or he asks you for a name, but he doesn't actually check if he has digits. So that's what you're looking for before doing an SQL injection. After you find out this point, you have to figure out what malicious virus you want to put inside, which is actually a script or a text. A script as a query, an SQL query. So I'm just going to give an example here. This is a query that a basic form sends to the database when you access it. The email is just something that you get from an email form with, let's say, PHP. And then this is what he expects. He expects you to type the email and he will run this. Select field list from table where field equals Steven at unixwiz.net. But he actually doesn't check if you write something, like he doesn't run a regular expression that checks this is an email, okay, run this query. This is not an email, just stop. So you could write this. Anything or x equals x. What do you think will happen? So you type this into the email field and you submit it. What will happen if it doesn't check if this is valid? It's a valid email. Yeah? Sorry. Yeah, why does it do that? Yeah, that statement will always be true. So you take this, anything over x equals x, you put it here, and it will display this. Select field list from table where field equals anything or x equals x. So it will just show everything from the table. This is a basic SQL injection. But imagine that after this all, before it, you put a comma, you put an end line. And after this, you just put an insert or a discard, a drop table. You can actually do everything you want with that table. Delete it, alter it, or whatever you want. So this is the basics of SQL injection. If you want more details, you can come.
I have a link at the end of the presentation from a website. It's called SQL Injection Cheat Sheet. It's everything you need to know about SQL injection. It's very useful. Trust me. Don't trust me.
Never trust. So now another type of injection is XSS tags, which is actually injecting a script inside a web page. There are two kind of, where there are more, but these are the two basic ones. The stored XSS tags, which means that you somehow manage to put your script inside the database of that website, and each time a user accesses some page on the website, he retrieves, he gets the information after that script is run. And the reflected XSS tags is when you actually manage to give him a link, or it's like social engineering, what Mihai talked about. You make him click on something that he shouldn't, and he runs a script on a certain web page that gives him a result that isn't actually there. And then he clicks that result and goes to your web page. This is just an example of what you can do. Goes to your web page and buys something that isn't going to get to his address. But you can do it.
Is it as simple as it sounds to be implemented properly? No. I mean, I ask people how to do a proper cross-site scripting attack, and they say it's kind of hard. Only I'm telling you what I've heard.
It is. There are some tools out there, if you're a beginner, that shows you vulnerabilities on websites. And you can run them, and he shows you the list of vulnerabilities, and you can try and do whatever you want with them. And now if we have time, I could show you an example of XSS attack, a simple one, a really simple one, but from this example you can actually do whatever you want. So we have a search form. This website is out there on the internet. It actually gives you a website with a vulnerability, and you can exploit that and try different scripts. So I have this search form. If I type something on this search form and I enter it, what do I see? It takes my information from the form and just displays it on a, let's say, paragraph, I think. Okay, so what does it do? It runs my thing on there. So right now I want to check if he validates my form. So how do I do this? If he validates it, he should validate my form against a script. So if I start with something with script and script, he should have shown me an error. So right now I know he's vulnerable. So what do? I just check if a basic JavaScript command runs when I type it here. So let's try alert. actually right now I can run whatever script I want from inside his web page. So let's try something more complex. Not really complex, but so I declare a variable which is x equal 21. It should work. Alert. Okay. It doesn't work. Whoops. Oh. Even when you're hacking, you have to be careful about syntax. So it works. Okay, it displays me a 21. So right now, let's say I have this page. I could send him a link that runs an automatic script on this phone. But in order to make him actually click on something that he wasn't supposed to, I have to make some new input on the web page. So what I do, let's say I put here a paragraph. And I put an action like, I don't know, on mouse over equals and a function. Actually here I put the alert function because it's a basic one and I just displayed the purpose of this. But you can put any function and actually interact with any element in this web page. But I put an alert here. And I display yes. Thank you. Thank you. Byte. So I have a byte paragraph then. So I just inserted something in his web page, and if I hover over it, I make an action. That action could have been everything. I could have sent him to another web page, which was my web page, from where he could have bought something that wasn't legit. But this is just a basic example. If you've never done this before, it could help you. If you've done this before, it's kind of boring. So let's go back to the presentation. So we've done this. This is a kind of a view on what we've done earlier. So I infected the script on the web page. A victim visits it, and once he visits that web page, I inject the script on the victim, like he goes to my web page or anything else. And from there, he can go on the internet and buy unlegit stuff or whatever. There are a ton of possibilities out there. You could make him do whatever you want to. But what we are based on right here is on his vulnerability, on social engineering. He was clumsy. He clicked my script. He did something that wasn't supposed to do there. We base our thinking on the fact that the developer didn't validate that code. Yeah, sorry.
It sometimes doesn't need a user to be like clumsy somewhere, because, for example, imagine you have a website where you need to log in, for example, Facebook, and you insert somewhere on Facebook, let's say, some script that runs on load function. So every time it loads, it can actually, using the JavaScript, send per session ID and cookies to your database.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just need to reply.
Yeah, that's the function that, in our example, we gave an alert function, but it could have been everything.
You can do something like that, and the user doesn't need to do anything. He just logs into the page and it's done.
Yeah, that's the first example that we give, this one. Stored XSS attacks. Because in the second one, he has to do something. You have to kind of trick him, make him a fool. Okay, so statistics of attacks, techniques from June.
What do you guys think? If the alright, forget about it.
What?
So the most attacks are unknown. What do you think that unknown means? Really, it's an answer. It can be answered really quickly if you pay attention. Or if you didn't. Sorry?
You know the type.
Why you might not know the type? Because it might be specific for each attack, right? So might be some social engineering involved. That's why I say it's not known, because it's different for every target organization, target person, or stuff like this. And this is like a percentage of the attacks from June 2015. We did not do that, we just got the information. Acknowledgement of the mission. And what do you think motivates people to do these attacks? Money. Money. Alright. Other one, someone else? Yeah? What? Sure, I think. Alright. Yeah, that's another thing. Yes?
Governments with espionage.
Espionage. Revenge. Have you heard about revenge porn? No. And when people did that, they might want to stay anonymous, not to go to jail, but they missed the fact that they were the party. So, what? As you can see here, the biggest proportion is cybercrime, as some volunteers said, because espionage is involved, government, and not only government is spying government. Usually government spies people, and people's data is not protected at all. You know, an attacker, a well-known attacker and criminal from US said that what drives him to commit the attack is actually the money. And what might a hacker commits the attack might be the data. Like data, in some extent, means money. And it's really easy to understand that concept. You just have to want to understand it, because it's in your face, it's your data, it's your information. People are paid around 10 quid per survey to give their personal information. Why do you think? In order for the government and other companies to predict things, so it's easier for them to pay people give out their own information than to make a tax on them. People do it freely. Well, how can you protect about it? SSL over HTTP. That means HTTPS, especially when you buy things online. Don't purchase from HTTP. Those are some basic things. Everyone knows what FTP means. All right, don't use it unless you really don't care about your password. Use secure file transfer protocol. SSH. People don't use Telnet anymore, right? I know. Are here any computer science students? Right. You SSH to Hilton, right? Yeah. Right. Why? Do you know why? Yeah, it's way more secure. Way more secure. It's SSH or secure shell uses a systematic encryption, symmetric encryption, and hashes. And that's way more encryption than Telnet gives. End-to-end encryption. Do you guys know what this means? Can you give me an example?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. There we go. Yes, be careful about the information, because it said when you post something, as I said before, remember it's going to be there for at least 20 years. Will I be hacked? Yes. You've already did. Alright, nice audience, really nice audience. Can you answer this thing?
100 million.
100 million. Alright.
A lot.
A lot. A lot.
All of them.
All of them. A lot and all of them. If you want to know the exact answer for this, according to CNN, and I'm not lying, it's 47% of all the adults in the US. Like almost half of people have been hacked. They had their information stolen, their password, their data, their photos, their nudes, everything. I have a situation here. So an attacker wants to get information about person X. X is a student and he's a sociable person. He uses a MacBook Pro, very known for its security. MacBook Pro, Apple guys. One apple a day keeps Dr. Dollar away, you know. So, how a hacker will approach it?
Social engineering.
You want social engineering? Someone else? Want to give it a try?
Fishing.
Fishing. Good. Fishing, yes?
Steal the
You can't give turn.
Steal the computer.
Steal a computer. Outside the book. Yeah, there are numbers of ways. To this particular situation, the keyword here was sociable, and social engineering helps you a lot. You've seen those two videos. You've seen how easy to get the password. Is the network secure? No? No? And who's responsible for its own or his or her security? Government? University of Manchester?
Everyone.
Yeah, so you have to really encrypt your things. You have to use end-to-end encryption. That's the thing to do, unless you really don't care about your thing. I was trying to send, we were planning to do a demo here before, and I couldn't send the Trojan to my friend Stefan on Facebook, just archive. And the simple thing I did, took me 2 seconds, was just set a password on the .rar file, a 20-character password. So, because initially when I started to send him the Trojan, it was archived. Facebook would open the RAR archive, see that that's a Trojan, and thus it would not let me send it. But on a simple password encryption thing, as simple as it can get, Facebook did not read my RAR file, even though it was a Trojan. Is the network reliable? Or did you guys took a distributed system? There are some axioms of distributed systems over there. So it's not secure, it's not reliable, so that's why we should take care of our thing. Yeah. If you want to get the useful links, give me a shout or thank you for your time.